So 4 days ago, I asked you a question within my YouTube community section, and I said, what are your assumptions about Silas? I'm going through each of the boys and discussing fun headcanons and assumptions people have. Let me know what yours are. And I was going to wait for maybe like a week because, people have been commenting throughout all these 4 days. I was going to wait a week to really talk about this. But then I saw a Reddit post that caught my attention that would greatly link into this whole situation, okay? Basically, this is saying, if you like Silas, you should go and watch 365 and 50 Shades of Grey. Now, people have been saying that this is peak BOOKTok behavior. When Silas first came out, a lot of people on BOOKTok did liken him to some, let's say, dark, edgy characters that really don't truly fit Silas's characterization, okay? And now people suggesting that if you like Silas, you will like 365 and 50 Shades of Grey. But, okay, if you want my personal take, this is a huge stretch. This is like an absolute stretch. Both of these movies, and let's say the series, the book series, right? But they characterize, for example, the BDSM community in such a way that isn't healthy. I've seen 365. I've seen this years ago. And from what I can recall and from what I can remember, it's basically a kidnapping, right? It's basically a kidnapping. The MC herself basically has Stockholm Syndrome over her abuser, right? And I'm pretty sure in Love and Deepspace, the MC does not have Stockholm Syndrome with Silas, who is an abuser, apparently, according to these people. I don't see that at all. I really don't see that at all. I think we could all agree that Silas isn't an abuser of any sort. Does he stalk the MC to a certain extent? It's debatable, right? I mean, he literally uses Mephisto to keep an eye on her. Now, can you consider that stalking? It depends on what lengths you want to go, right? If you're keeping an eye on someone 24/7 all the time, that is by definition stalking. I do think Silas does have some toxic traits, i.e. he always wants to keep an eye on the MC to make, yes, you could say it's to make sure nothing bad happens to her, but it's still considered a toxic trait for someone to be keeping tabs on you all the time, right? And that's something that's apparent in 50 Shades of Grey, where Christian Grey is always keeping an eye on the MC to an unhealthy degree where he's even manipulating her environment to make sure certain things happen for her, which is not a good thing. We haven't seen Silas do anything like that yet. We've just really seen him keep tabs on her. And a lot of the comments just really seem to agree with this. Poor Silas being mischaracterized in 365 Shades of Red. He doesn't deserve this. Silas would hate those two movies. I agree. I definitely think Silas would consider these two men in both of these pieces of media to be absolute trash. So to relate him to both of these is honestly quite funny. But yeah, people don't like this. I can see Silas into BDSM, but God, 50 Shades of Grey is the worst and not accurate to BDSM. I agree. I can see Silas being a little bit more spicy. I feel like he's definitely a man who likes the, physical touch. But I feel like relating him to a toxic representation of the BDSM community is just not healthy. It's not good. Does Silas have toxic traits? Yes, he does, especially in the beginning, but that doesn't define his whole character, in my opinion, especially later on where we see him sort of mellow out a bit and we see his true character and true intention, right? But anyway, I said to all of you guys, what are your assumptions about Silas? And we'll go through them today and we'll discuss them. So how about this one? We'll go from the top and we'll pick out a few of these. We'll pick out the most liked ones. I feel like he purposefully gives the MC options to make a decision on their relationship and speed it goes on. I assume he's the most willingly to step back if that's what the MC wants, because he cares and loves them so much. This quality in person makes the relationship with Silas that much more mature and real, in my opinion. I pretty much agree with this kind of assumption, especially when we are going through his bond. That bond memory is so fun, but he never makes a move on the MC. He lets the MC come to him, right? He lets her initiate. He lets her make the first move, and once she's made that move and once she's made that connection, then he takes it and then he steps up, right? So I definitely agree that he waits for her to kind of, pull the punches, let's say, make her to initiate, and then he kind of goes off from that. That I definitely agree with. I assume he's the most willingly to step back after the MC wants. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that entirely, because I feel as though again, he has a habit of checking in on her and spying on her a little bit. So maybe he would say, like, physically he'd take a step back from her if that was something that she deemed, but I feel like he would still try and keep tabs on her in some way. Again, if you think that's healthy or not, that's entirely up to you. I think he's definitely the type who gives more than takes, so he definitely sacrificed himself in the past life of the MC. I think he's definitely the type who gives more than takes, so he definitely sacrificed himself in the past for the MC. I definitely see him. I mean, it's even shown at the end of the second of his chapter, right, that he basically sacrificed himself for her in some way. Again, please, I need Silas Smith. I need to see what happens next. I really do. But I think we've already kind of see him do that in some way. But is he the type of guy to give more than he takes? Well, as someone, if you read his anecdotes, right, as someone who is a renowned intergalactic criminal, let's say, I think he's very used to taking. He's very used to taking from others if he does not deem that person to be of his respect. If he doesn't think he has to respect the people around him, he will take from them. But I think because he respects the MC, he will absolutely give more than he takes. To other people he doesn't care about, that he thinks are maybe beneath him potentially in some way, that aren't worth the effort, I feel like he definitely will take from them. As we kind of see in his anecdote, you know, bro took over a whole planet and made all the rich people give him all of their stuff. You know what I mean? So I definitely think he's a taker, but to the people he cares about, I don't think he is. So I agree with this. I definitely agree with this assumption. Biggest one I have is the MC betrayed this man, and that's why he's so rough and conflicted in the main story. He longs for her, yet there's this resentment. He even says in Continuous Symphony that she didn't want to play anymore, and that's why the song ended, as if to say MC broke it off with him. Why does this make me sad? Kaylee, why have you made me sad? Why have you made me sad? I definitely think there is unresolved conflict between them. Silas can clearly remember the past, even by the way he speaks, and what he's already said to us. He's clearly aware of some past and future that the MC is a part of. So again, Silas being this big mystery man, maybe he's the ally that can recall things, you know, a little bit like Xavier. He has some recollection of some past lives. Honestly, listen, Kaylee, you've just broken my heart. You've broken my heart. Like, if there's betrayal involved, and that's why he was kind of aggressive at the beginning, because he needs her so badly to recognize him and to want him, and that doesn't happen, and then he's like, okay, I've got to take this in a different approach. Maybe that's why. So he has all these feelings inside of him that are like unresolved, and maybe that's why he comes across as, you know, more of a conflict at the beginning between Silas and the MC. Kaylee, you made me sad. You made me sad, Kaylee. The stark difference between Silas when first introduced and how Gomez Adams, he is the lead almost immediately afterwards, threw me for a loop at first, but made me more sense when I thought of it as him meeting a clean slate version of someone he used to be very close to and realizing that she's acting like a little punk and putting herself in danger. He seemed genuinely upset when the technician guy said her inability to sync her evil was due to possibly to disgust with him, but all the rest of the time it felt more like he was just talking her down a peg or two and teaching her how to behave in a dangerous place where she had no business acting so cocky. He really only gets nasty when she's being a butthead and making things unnecessary and hard on herself. I definitely think Silas, he wants the best for her and he wants her to make good decisions. And again, I feel this kind of links into like what Kaylee's been saying, that like he has these sort of pent up feelings about the MC. He's annoyed that he can't resonate with her right away, right? Maybe that's something they used to be able to do and now that they can't, and this is annoying to him. I feel he is the kind of character to sort of be annoyed if things don't go his way. He definitely gives that kind of personality to me. I feel that's definitely the case. He gets annoyed when things don't go her way, or when the MC does something that he doesn't necessarily approve of. I can see him definitely being, you know, peeved off with that kind of thing. I feel like he's a Tengu or crow demon because he's obsessed with feathers and birds, but in the back of my mind he also gets phoenix energy because of the fire and healing quickly. I need his myth. I need his myth so bad. I want to see Silas with like full-on crow wings and like crow claws and all sort of goes. I think that would be so cool, right? That'd be so cool. Like a shape, he can shapeshift into it, whatever. I just need the myth. I need to stop speculating, because like with other people I'm speaking to, we've got like 10 different theories of what Silas could be. There's so many things. There's so many things, and I just need an answer now. I need an answer now. Thought on Silas: he's a fae. Bear with me real quick. He is sensitive to touch. Fae avoids skinship, so he wouldn't be used to it. He gives the MC nicknames. Names hold power, capital P, so he's careful. His whole bid is deals, and that he upholds them. Deals with Fae are very literal and binding. He has Demon Crow familiar. His energy, evil, and desire reading eye also works in Fae terms. If we go the route that Silas is some type of shapeshifter, also works. This man is unfairly attractive. Like, it's not even... Wait, let me start with this last bit. Okay? I think Silas is the most attractive, like, fictional man in media. I pretty much said it. Listen, I'm coming from someone who's a Gojo Satoru simp, right? I'm a Toji Fushiguro simp, you know, I'm a big JJK simp. But I think Silas tops everyone. I'll be real. Maybe not literally, but I think Silas is the top of my list in terms of, like, fictional men. He's peak. He's number one. He's absolutely number one. I don't know much about Faye, but from everything that you're describing, I could see this. I wouldn't disagree with this. I think Faye, I wouldn't disagree with this sort of thing. You know what I mean? This is a really cool... I feel this is a really cool, you know, assumption, or even like sort of headcanon. Again, myths, please give us the answer. Who is he? You know, who is this man? What kind of being is he? My bestie said that she thinks Silas was put into the space-time prison because he saved the MC. She has took the fall for MC, and I haven't been the same since. Also, Silas is a girl dad. Point blank period. Oh no, I think he's protective girl dad. I definitely think Silas would be protective girl dad. He was in the space-time prison because he saved MC, took the fall for the MC, and haven't been the same since. I am also curious what Silas did to end up in the space-time prison. I'm very, because I feel like his anecdote follows on from that moment. So I need to know, how did he get put in there? What did he do? You know, so he was eventually caught. So what sort of crime did he commit? And why wasn't he executed? Couldn't they kill him? Is he literally totally unkillable? Like, no one in the galaxy knows a way to kill him? We know he heals very quickly and he can't necessarily die. But how? How can someone best this man? You know, I need all the details. I do need all the details. He would sacrifice himself for MC. I think he already did in the past. I agree. I think, you know, again, we saw that in the second chapter. He took the blame, or he would sacrifice himself for greater good. There's always this melancholy in his eyes for some reason. Like, he was longing for MC, but also in a sad way. Honestly, this terrified me because I don't think I can handle it. I don't think he would sacrifice himself for the greater good. I think he's the type of man who would sacrifice things if it benefited himself. And I think he thinks of the MC extremely highly, the thing he cares about the most. So sacrificing himself for her is sacrificing to better himself, right? That's kind of how I feel. I don't think he would necessarily do it for the greater good. I think he does for the greater of what's good for him. Well, I have a feeling that Silas is a demon. That's my biggest assumption. But also, he could be a dragon demon god, just because he did tame a dragon on that one side quest. I want him to be dragon demon god, but with crow wings. I don't know how to explain it, but I want all of these things somehow rolled together. If someone can, like, paint that in a narrative that makes sense, you'll be my favorite person. I want all of these things. I'm a big dragon girl, I gotta say. Like, I love dragonkin, that sort of thing. I would love to see Silas as dragonkin personally, but who knows? Again, Infold, give us his myth announcement, please. Big dick energy. Big dick energy. I agree. I think he does. He's suave. He has the words, and I think he has the motions and the physicality to back up what he says. I totally agree with this. And if he doesn't, that's okay too, Silas. We can still have fun. You know what I mean? That's still okay. We still love you regardless. But yep, this I 100% agree with. I think in the past, MC is Silas's wife. He got betrayed by her. I think Silas is the fallen angels who are cursed because of fallen in love with a human. I love this angle. Also can explain why like the whole crow like thing. The whole crow wing sort of thing. I don't know. I kind of like that kind of theory. He lost his wings and running away from the judgment he is supposed to deal while being the most wanted fugitive by heaven. Ooh. Oh, that's poetic. The most wanted fugitive by heaven. Ooh, that's really poetic. The other angel and fairies like Xavier, Zane, and Raphael are the hunters to catch him, because the best bait they are using is his wife, which is the MC. Silas might into trap because of MC. Well, this is only my assumptions. I just wish they put more Silas cards in memories so he can gain his power against the enemy with MC help. Listen, he's new, right? He's new. I'll be real, if they keep pumping out Silas cards, I'm gonna be mad because I need to save for them. I'm gonna be honest, I need to save for these cards. If it takes time, I don't mind. I need to save my gems so I can guarantee them. If Info don't give me more cards to Silas, maybe they want Silas to end up fail. I don't think this is true. I don't think it's gonna fail. Again, he's very new. And I think if we give it time, they'll definitely deliver. It'll be a broken-hearted end for Silas Gillies. I hope not. But don't worry, they are going to spoil us and we will get rewarded for that. Absolutely. I will admit at first when I was downloading the game and that scene with Silas smirking using his evil to leap off buildings, I was like, is this the villain of the game? Is he another Sephiroth wannabe? Edgelord romance? I think the first couple of stories of chapters definitely, you know, he was. Let's be honest with ourselves, he definitely was. But after a few comments and videos about him, I was surprised to see he wasn't that edgy. He knows how to have fun and takes advantage of everything. He's growing on me, but not too much. We'll see. I definitely think... again, Silas's character is definitely, his introduction is different to how his character and personality plays out. But I found this interesting. I find that's fun. And I find it fun to talk about. I firmly believe that man is at least 35. He doesn't look 28 at all. I'm also in the crowd that he's in his 30s. I'm definitely in the crowd of 30s. But like, maybe he's just a very mature 28-year-old. You know what? Maybe he's just a very mature. But I could definitely see him being in his 30s. I also think he's kind of vampire in the sense he doesn't get older, because we know he did spend quite a long time in that space-time prison. He's also so girl dad coded. Oh, 100%. Like the braid thing, he's definitely a dad. And I don't believe for a second Caleb and Silas are the same height. Silas looks way taller than him. The thing is, I think Silas is the tallest any of these LIs can go, because he literally, like, on my phone, I have a 13 Pro Max. He gets cut off from the top of the screen. Silas gets cut off from the top of the screen for me. It's crazy. Husband material. He cares so much for MC. Initial meeting, he was resenting and hurt that she forgot about him. I suspect MC and Silas are close in the past. Having your significant other forget about him must have hurt. I can relate to him a lot, especially being called monster. Ooh, I'm sorry. He really isn't. He's just misunderstood. I think I agree. He's definitely misunderstood. I think all of the allies have something negative about them. I feel like if we all paint them being, oh, they're just misunderstood, they're really all positive, doesn't do a benefit. And I think it adds depth and a depth and humanity to the allies' character when they aren't perfect, when they aren't all overly positive, when they do have negative aspects about them, when they do have a sort of dark side. I think it really adds to the trueness of someone's character, because I don't believe someone can be always good, right? I think everyone has something in them that they're not particularly proud of, and I think all of the allies in their own way kind of have something. So I think that's okay to say. I know a lot of people will flame me for saying that, but I think it makes it more human and it makes it more real. And I like that. It makes it good for the narrative and story. For me, personally. My assumption is that Silas hates to have his face touched. Ooh. Intimacy games, tender curve, night plumes, captivating flavor, no defense zone. When they first meet, all show him getting agitated or blocking when someone touches or tries to touch his face. In the recent event when he has MC touch his face, it's super sweet and vulnerable moment. He asks MC to be gentle. I think he's sensitive about his face. I think he's just very sensitive. I like this. Maybe he doesn't like to have his face touched because it's sensitive and it's a thing for him, right? I kind of like that. I kind of like that headcanon. I kind of like that theory. Assumptions. Missionary doggy legs in the air. I can't read this. I'm gonna get demonetized. I can handle it in silence. Comments is so. You guys are so down bad. It's so funny. You guys are so down bad. I love it. It's great. From straight male that played this game for 3 months now, bro, size majestic, handsome man. He is. I think a man who's able to admit that Silas is handsome is a man who's very comfortable in his sexuality. I'll be real. I find it hot when other men say that, yeah, Silas is hot as fuck. I understand it. I'm like, I respect you because you know what's good. You know what's good. When I first saw his trailer, I thought he'd be in a sheep and wolf clothing. True. I have an assumption that he is a creature of the cosmos that feeds on the energy of the void or the stars. In one of the audios, he was unable to heal his wounds during the day, maybe because the radiation of the sun does not allow it to feed the energy of space. I love talking about the sort of day-night cycle with Silas. He's active during the night. His powers work during the night, maybe not as much during the day, and he can't heal himself as much. It makes him more interesting. Again, there's so much about this man that we don't know. I would love to go into like my own personal theories about him in like another video. That'd be super sick. Unfortunately, this is a language I cannot speak. I will try and translate this and see if it makes sense to me. Silas and MC were some kind of couple or partners who ran some organization together as leaders. That would be really cool. That would be cool. But that eventually Silas was corrupted by a greater power that made him lose control of his strength and destroy his entire nation, being a real bloodbath. Because of the MC would be the only one who can put an end to it, but it would be the cost of her own life. At that moment, MC kills Silas at his request and they both die at that moment. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm sad again. I'm sad again. Oh no, I'm sad again. Oh no. There's this one cute going around where people headcanon he's 35. Yep, it's 6'5". Yep. I think they nerfed his height because bro would surpass. This is literally what I said. Literally what I said. The dude's definitely a demon or some kind of thing. Him and the MC at that time were probably close and she betrayed him. A lot of people seem to assume that the MC has betrayed Silas and that's kind of why he's aggressive when he first meets her. I think... honestly, now going through everyone's assumptions, I'm gonna kind of adopt this too. Like, I think it makes sense in some way that she has betrayed him, and he kind of resents her for that a little bit potentially, and it sort of fuels a lot of their initial interactions. I think that's really interesting. Girl dad again. So MC betrayal, he harbors some kind of internalized resentment. He's absolutely a girl dad. Bro is not 28, he's 35 and 6'5". We all know this. I think these are assumptions that basically everybody has about this man. Absolutely. I love this. This was really fun to sort of go through. If you have any more assumptions, leave them in the comments below. Again, I am live almost every single day over on Twitch. 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. EST. I will be going through some new memories live that I haven't seen before, and reacting to them and having fun. And also, we just like to hang out and chill. And it's definitely a safe space for the girlies to come over and chat and have a good time. So I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.